Now, you were a
9-2.
Marine, but you were in a vicious war with the Japanese, because from what I understand, the Japanese were very, suicidal. They would,
Kamikaze planes.
Kamikaze, exactly.
Right.
But even to remove them from the islands.
Right.
Now, what I'd like to know is, when you were in the Pacific Theater as well, you were a Marine, but you were a Marine that was stationed on the Missouri?
Yeah, that's right, Phil. Every capital ship in the Navy had Marine detachment aboard.
Wow.
And theoretically, since the Revolution, the Marines was the landing force for the Navy. You follow me?
So basically, they would come to the island, and you guys would go in those evac things, or whatever they're called, the ships to bring you to shore, right? And you guys would go there and fight the Japanese then?
Well, not me, but that's what the plan was.
Okay.
But.
And were you in any battles I should be aware of?
Well, yeah, we started from Iwo Jima and Okinawa. The ship got out. The ship got out to the Pacific rather late, and we missed. Fortunately, we missed all the early action. But our first action was bombarding Iwo Jima.
Wow.
And then from there they went to Okinawa. But I didn't go ashore at all. As I said, I was aboard ship the whole time, and I was very fortunate, I guess, because a lot of the fellows I know got killed at Iwo and at Okinawa. But I was safely aboard ship, and the Missouri became the glamorous ship of the war. Halsey was aboard the ship, and they signed the peace aboard the ship. So we were the.
Well, that's what I want to lead up to. But before we talk about that, you know why they went and they signed the peace treaty, because we dropped the bomb on them.
Right, the atom bomb. Right, both bombs, both of them, 2 places.
Did you when you were in Japan? Did you actually see the outcome from that? Did you actually see the devastation? Or you guys kept away from that?
No, to be honest, Phil, we never went ashore. We stayed aboard ship, preparing for the surrender. So I never went into Japan at all. We were in Tokyo Bay the whole time. But
now, while you were on the ship, were you able to actually see MacArthur and I believe it was the Prime Minister of Japan? Am I correct?
You mean to see him at the surrender?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were right below them, Phil, on the deck right below the main deck there. But I saw we piped every one of them aboard as they came aboard ship. It was in the harbor, and that's where, as I said, where they signed the peace from.
Sure, but did you see them sign it? Did
Well,
you actually see the basis of that, or anything like that?
Well, we were at the bar. All the officers saw the actual signing of the peace. Right. We were at the deck below. We welcomed everybody aboard ship as they came aboard ship, Phil. But I never saw the original, the surrender itself.
And when you heard about this surrender, I mean, how many years were you actually in the war?
I was in the war 2 years. We were preparing. I never went aboard, on land, but we were preparing to make a landing in Tokyo Bay to secure the signing. So we practiced aboard ship landing, and we had 99 Marines aboard ship, and we were all told we were going to go aboard ashore, but at the last minute they decided to sign the peace aboard the Missouri. So all we sent was 6 people on the landing of the surrender. But to me, it was a big part of history, which I.
Oh, absolutely. Now, you were 18 at the time when you joined?
Yeah, I joined December of 1943, I think. And I went right in.
1943.
Pardon me?
And
I'm sorry, what was that, Phil?
I said it was 1943, and then really, so the war was over when?
They signed the peace September 2nd, 1945.
Wow. So I guess they heard you were coming, and they got scared, huh?
Yeah, they saw me coming. You're right.
Are you a New York boy?
Yeah, I was born out in Brooklyn.
Yep. And was it you and your friends who said, "Hey, we're joining"?
Excuse me. I didn't join with anybody else. I went down myself. Went down to the draft board myself, and then they gave me the choice of the Army, Navy, or the Marine Corps, and fortunately, I picked the Marine Corps, and that was my whole history of being in the service.
And did you tell your mom and dad before, or did you tell them after?
I told them after. They never would. They never would have permitted me to go into the Marine Corps.
You were a brave man.
Yeah, but I saw a bit of history, and I can never forget it.
Oh, absolutely not. Now, when you came back, well, let's get back on the warship. I mean, the thing I've only seen on pictures of, or on television, or a movie I recently saw, which was called Battleship.
Right.
And the thing looked huge.
Yeah, it was 800. Let's see. I think it was 1,000 feet long, and about I don't know how across the beam was, but it was a big ship.
It was huge. Now, did you were on the ship for how long? For 6 months at a time?
No. At that time, they didn't rotate you. Well, I was on the ship the whole time, Phil. I was never on land. I was never on land at all. So I was really.
Oh my God! I know how it is. If I've been on a ship and I go on land, I feel weird. I can't walk right.
Well, the big ship. We were into a couple of bad storms, but basically the ship sailed pretty smoothly.
So you didn't get seasick?
The only time I got seasick when we pulled into Mogmog, that was the Navy base. I was every ship put pickets that went around the ship in a little boat, and I got on one of them, and I got seasick as can be, because you're bobbing up and down, and there is a solid mass in front of you. So, but I got off it fortunately, and went back onto went back aboard ship.
Now, how were you informed that you were going to Japan for a peace treaty? For surrender. It wasn't a peace treaty, I'm sorry, for Japan to surrender.
Well, they dropped the 2 atom bombs, and I guess around August 20, they dropped the bombs August 6th and 8th. And about fortunately, the Emperor saw the writing on the wall, and there's still people that are willing to fight in Japan. And if we did make a landing, Phil, we would have had 1 million casualties.
Oh, easily.
So
Bill, wait a minute, Bill. Did they have like a ship-wide announcement saying that the surrender of Japan and that you're going there to? I mean, MacArthur was not on your boat. Did he fly in? Did they transfer him from a different boat?
No, he came in by. I don't know how he got to the ship, but it was interesting. It was a big.
So he came in. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it was an interesting experience, Phil. I did nothing to warrant it, but at least I saw a part of history.
Well, no, absolutely. Even being on the Missouri, a magnificent ship like that. I mean, this is living history. I mean, to you, it's commonplace because what you did was you went there, you did your job, and you went back home, and you had a family, and you built your business, and you moved on.
That's right.
To you, it's commonplace because you lived it. To somebody like me, it's like, wow.
Well,
and I know that would be for my audience because it is now 70 years ago this year.
A long time.
Actually, in August, as you point out.
A long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
You sound to me like your memories are as if it was, just the other day.
I can remember my whole duty aboard ship like it was yesterday, Phil. And
what was your designation in the Marine? Were you private?
That was what they did. I went aboard ship as a private, but all the privates were made first class, and that's what I got discharged as a corporal, but my active duty was really as a Marine first class.
Okay. And what were your duties? What primarily did you have to do?
Primarily, I hate to admit it, we were like sailors aboard ship. We maintained.
You were what?
We were like the sailors aboard ship.
Okay.
There was no we had our own quarters and all, but we manned what's called all the forward 20 millimeter guns, Phil.
Wow.
And that thing couldn't sink anything, but they had a lot of them aboard ship, and I was a member of the gun crew. And
well, my father was in the Army, but he was U.S. Army Air Force.
Right.
And, now there's just the Air Force. Was it like that with the Marines, where it was U.S. Navy Marines? Or were the Marines always separate?
The Marines always were separate, even though they were under the guise of the Navy.
Right.
So, well, that was my history. I saw a bit of history, not that I did anything about it or for it.
No. But you were there. Yeah. And after the signing, what happened after the signing? Did they turn the ship and take it back to Pearl Harbor?
No, they didn't take it back to Pearl Harbor. But the ship signified the winning of the war. So every port we made, they made a big thing about the Missouri, and we anchored. We got back to the Navy Yard. No, not the Navy Yard. In the port, and the ship got all the glory, even though other ships saw so much more action. But as I said, we were the lucky ones, and it got me an A in English because I wrote we had to pick out some kind of an affair. Most kids picked bar mitzvahs, weddings, and I picked the Missouri and described it, and the professor had me earmarked as an A through the rest of the term. So it worked out pretty good.
Very good. I'm sorry you didn't get the chance to go on the shore of Japan.
Well, I guess it's good. Just as happy that I didn't go. I'm happy we came right back. I was not a hero, and that's why I'm glad I was one of the boys, and I came back safely.
Actually, my friend, you were a hero. You joined, you served.
Well,
because of people like you, the greatest generation. You know that. You lived it. It's
right.
people like you that gives me the right to say what I want to say on air. It's people like you that gives the opportunity for your son to have a thriving business. Sincerely. If we had more Americans like you and my late father, which are everyday heroes.
Well, we did nothing to signify, but
I know. That's how my dad felt.
I mean,
that's how my dad felt.
As I said, I can remember talking to you now. I can remember my whole time in the Marine Corps, and it brings back rather pleasant memories. And as I said, I got discharged in February of 1946.
Right.
And then fortunately, they had a GI Bill those days, so I went to college for 4 years for free. And what an education cost these days is unbelievable.
Right. Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
Those days, if you were a civilian, you paid $14.40 a credit, and you needed 126 credits to graduate.
Right.
And that's how that's the end of my story.
Well, wait a minute, Bill. We're almost done. I promise.
Take your time.
When you came back, you went to college?
Yeah, I went to NYU for 4 years.
Okay.
And I
went to college.
And
did you get married when you came back, or did you get married after college?
Oh, after college. I graduated in 1950,
Right.
And I think I got married in 50.